Hey guys, Caleb here with a DSLR video shooter tutorial. Today I want to show you guys something that is probably the most valuable thing you can invest in. I know for me it's the most valuable thing I've invested in. It's not the camera, it's not the lens, it's your lighting kit. And I'm not going to be showing you all of my lighting kit, but I'm going to be showing you something that has been just completely invaluable to me over the last probably year and a half. I did a review on some of this stuff in the past, but I like to really revisit it because it's such a powerful tool. And we're going to be using two of these guys. These are the Octa 9s. You can get these in a 6 bulb or a 9 bulb configuration. So we're going to set up these with a customized C-stand setup. And the greatest thing about this particular light kit is that it all can be easily dismantled and rebuilt and moved. And if you're like me, you shoot a lot of documentary, a lot of interviews, and often what we'll do is we'll have the same general area where we're going to be doing all of our reviews. So it's really nice to have a lighting setup that we can move, within a maybe 200-foot area or even larger, but to be able to move quickly, efficiently, and not to completely tear down every time we move our kit. So let's go ahead and start with the stand, and I'm just going to be doing this on the fly, no editing, so bear with me. First part of the kit is the base. This is part of the B&H Impact Turtle Base C-stand. And what's cool about Turtle Base is the legs. You can pull up this little ring right here, and it just opens up the legs. Very easy to tear down. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this on the floor. Then I'm going to grab this guy right here, the main part of the stand, drop that in, tighten that down, excuse the balding up here. Cool, so that's our stand. Next thing, normally you would put an arm on here or something like that to be able to hang a light or a filter or a scrim or something, but something I recently picked up and have added to the kit is one of these guys. You can get this in a couple different forms. I'll put links on the website. And what it does is instead of having the standard 1 stud on your light stand, you now have 3, and actually 5 if you include these 2 lower studs. This guy right here is between $20 and $50. Totally worth it. It's made of the same material as the C-stand, so it's really strong. And the actual C-stand itself with the arm is, I believe, $130. So we're getting up to close to $200 at this point. And again, all this, I would buy it all over again multiple times in a heartbeat. It's totally worth it, and you'll see why in a little bit. So the next thing is to add our lights. And you can buy these individually. You can buy them in kits, which is the cheapest way to do it. You also get some light stands. But you can pick up a kit for between $400 and $600. Right now there's actually a deal going on B&H, so you'll save a little bit there. So I add one there, get the second one up, loosen this puppy up. Okay, I'm gonna move this over a little bit, something like that. Cool, so now we have 2 lights on the stand, and the next thing is to take our arm. This comes with the actual light stand, so you don't have to purchase this separately, which is really cool. And what we're gonna do is I'm going to reorient this a little bit and kind of do this in a way that you can see. I'm gonna tighten that down, and then what I do is I get this puppy, I don't know, somewhere in that ballpark. Tighten it down so it's going up at an angle. And you can't see it right now, but it's kind of going out of frame. So the end is all the way at the top, obviously, so we have our lights. The next thing to do is to put a silk on here. You can really use anything. I'm gonna go ahead and actually lower this so you can see it. Right in here somewhere. And what I'm gonna use is a really cheap 5-in-1 reflector, which I'm actually using for this lighting setup, but I'm gonna go ahead and take it down. I'm going to remove the reflecting part. So we just have the actual scrim, which is great because this is really gonna soften up our light a lot. So the next thing is grab some clamps. I love this stand because I use it like this, where I just, leave my clamps right there on the stand. I don't know if you can see that. And it's just a great way to have them right there and accessible all the time. Next step is take this guy, and normally I would mount it a little higher, but because I'm a little limited on space to show this to you, I'm gonna keep this lower, but you would extend that a little farther, and then I just go ahead, attach the clamp, butt it up, grab another clamp, and boom, gonna adjust this a little more, perfect. So, it kind of looks weird on my monitor. I'm gonna turn this a little bit so you guys can see everything. Something like that. I definitely need a larger space to be able to do this. But anyway, you can kind of get the idea. I have two lights shooting through my scrim, and this puts out a lot of light. I'm now gonna show you some footage of some interviews I've done, and it lights a pretty big space. It's pretty impressive what you can pull off. But the greatest thing is this is all on one light stand, and aside from explaining it all to you, you can probably see how quick it is and easy it is to set up. So let's say I filmed an interview, we're ready to move to another room or a different part of our location. Usually I have someone assisting me. So all you would have to do is get rid of your clamps, leave the clamps on the stand. This guy goes aside, and then what I do is I have someone unplug the cords, and then I have one assistant. Let's see if I get this loose enough. Grab this whole unit, which is pretty easy to carry, especially if you get buff guys doing your grip work. And then the other guy grabs the light stand, and then you're on the move. Boom, done. You have a ton of light, very soft, perfect for use for documentaries and interviews. A great solid light stand, and this thing I would not work without. If I didn't have this gear, I would immediately purchase it. It's so crucial, and these fluorescents are fantastic because you get really soft light and they're not hot, so they're not gonna burn up your talent. And the bulbs are cheap and they last a long time. And they also put out a decent amount of light. They're not gonna get as much as hot lights. Between the two, you get an output equivalent of around 2,000 watts, which is pretty great. And this doesn't have to be just your key light. You can use this for all kinds of different things. I love these lights because I use them for bounce a lot of the time. So recently I've been helping a sister of mine start a cooking show, and she's gonna be doing a podcast on it. And I just used the same setup, but shot it up into a corner, illuminated the whole kitchen beautifully. So you can find links to all this stuff on my website, DSLRvideoshooter.com, below this video. If you have any questions, definitely let me know, but this is just a killer kit for a super solid key light for interviews.